All of us are joining together to kick off the next phase of San Diego's Housing Commission's Housing First Action Plan. And over the next 3 years, the Commission will spend roughly $80 million on several vital programs, all aimed at reducing homelessness in our city and our region. And we all know that the best way to start ending the cycle of homelessness for some is to put a roof over their head and provide them the support that they need. And that's exactly what we're going to be able to do for thousands of our homeless neighbors with this new Housing First Action Plan. And this is a perfect example of how the region is working together to create more housing opportunities and second chances for those that are struggling on our streets. And as we've said many times before, there is no one silver bullet that is going to solve this homeless crisis. We need to attack it from every angle. And this action plan takes a variety of approaches that will help people turn their lives around, or, just as importantly, prevent them from becoming homeless in the first place.
We're happy today to be here to talk about the latest iteration of the Housing Commission's Housing First San Diego plan. This plan, we believe, will conservatively house an additional 3,000 residents in a permanent fashion. And we're directing, as the mayor said, some $79.7 million over the next 3 years, money in federal, city, and San Diego Commission funds. And we're looking for those to be employed in 6 different program areas. I'm going to highlight 4 of those 6 this morning, those that will impact the most people. The first one, as the mayor indicated, is the Landlord Incentive Program. One of my concerns 3 years ago when we kicked off the first programs was making sure that we had active and willing landlord participation here in San Diego. And we focused on encouraging that participation in a Housing Our Heroes program that the mayor kicked off a little over a year ago. That program targeted housing 1,000 veterans. We're well on our way to getting those 1,000 housed by about the end of September this year. We currently have about 800 housed. And we pointed out to the landlords in the private sector that we did not expect the private sector participants to lose money on social programs. We expected them to be like all private sector entrepreneurs, to make money, and we set up programs that would alleviate risk or reduce the risk housing a particular part of the population that might be non-traditional. A second major component of our newest Housing First San Diego plan is that we will invest funds to create some 500 new permanent supportive housing units. Housing First San Diego, that we set out initially 2.5+ years ago, has produced an additional 523 units, including both Housing Commission-owned properties and also properties owned by third-party private sector sources. Those properties are either completed or in process right now, all of which will be completed over the next year or so. We believe that the additional funds, some $61 million of the $79 million, will go toward these 500 brand new units. And what we believe is that we have to have a combination of existing properties and new properties, both from a demand side and a supply side, to make programs work. The overwhelming bulk of the homelessness effort employed throughout the region has been reactive and after the fact and after somebody becomes homeless. What we're doing with Housing First San Diego this iteration is to target a certain amount of our funding to a homelessness prevention and diversion program. What we believe that we can do is to help some 1,450 families and individuals to avoid homelessness in the first place. We are also targeting funding to develop an enhanced, comprehensive, and coordinated outreach system that will help to identify gaps throughout the city and the region, indeed, to help find additional ways to solve this problem.
Let me start out by singling a part of this program. There's so many pieces to this. It's fantastic. But there's one that for us at the county really registers strongly, and that's the 733 vouchers that are being committed today for Project One for All. It's a commitment that the county has made now to providing housing and services and treatment for the severely mentally ill individuals who are on our streets. This is a significant group and a group that needs help in a big way. This is a big promise, and it's a big task. It's one that takes time as we earn one by one the trust and the cooperation of these individuals who are out on the street. We want to give them a positive future, and we're committed to that. Since we started last June, the program has housed now over 384 people, severely mentally ill individuals that have been on the streets.
To most effectively address homelessness, San Diego must not only implement strategies to house people who are currently homeless, but also strategies to help prevent people from becoming homeless in the first place. So the expanded resources that we're talking about here today, the program elements that you heard from Rick Gentry to start Housing First 3.0, will allow the Housing Commission to expand on their current success and make great progress on both fronts. I'm particularly encouraged in standing beside my colleague here, Councilwoman Gomez, who also serves on the city's select committee on the homelessness with me. We were able to invest another $1 million through this year's budget for additional prevention and diversion resources, and we're going to put those into action immediately. We know that the best way to address homelessness long term is to prevent it in the first place. And this provides a big step to better align our resources to support programs that we know are effective. As we continue to work on the Council's Homeless Select Committee to develop new complementary programs, improve collaboration between city departments and with partner agencies, and further strengthen the city's plan of action on homelessness, we will be looking to successful programs like these to build upon.